Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. Its surface is grayish, with an expansive roof-cliff system generated from thrust faults and bright ray systems formed by impact event remnants. The largest known crater is Caloris Planitia, or Caloris Basin, with a diameter of 1,550 kilometers (960 miles). The impact that created the Caloris Basin was so powerful that it caused lava eruptions and left a concentric mountainous ring approximately 2 kilometers (1.2 miles) tall surrounding the impact crater. In the past, Mercury was volcanically active, producing smooth basaltic plains similar to the Moon. It is likely that Mercury has a silicate crust and a large iron core. Mercury has a very tenuous atmosphere, consisting of solar wind particles and ejected atoms. Venus has a reflective, whitish atmosphere that is mainly composed of carbon dioxide. At the surface, the atmospheric pressure is 90 times as dense as on Earth's sea level. Venus has a surface temperatures over 400 degrees Celsius, 752 degrees Fahrenheit, mainly due to the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. The planet lacks a protective magnetic field to protect against stripping by the solar wind, which suggests that its atmosphere is sustained by volcanic activity. Its surface displays extensive evidence of volcanic activity with stagnant lid tectonics. Most planets rotate on their axes in an anti-clockwise direction, but Venus rotates clockwise in retrograde rotation. While the surface conditions of Venus are inhospitable, the atmospheric pressure, temperature, and solar and cosmic radiation 50 kilometers above the surface are similar to those at Earth's surface. Earth is the third planet from the Sun and the only astronomical object known to harbor life. This is enabled by Earth being an ocean world, the only one in the solar system sustaining liquid surface water. Almost all of Earth's water is contained in its global ocean, covering 70.8% of Earth's crust. The remaining 29.2% of Earth's crust is land, most of which is located in the form of continental landmasses within Earth's land hemisphere. Most of Earth's land is somewhat humid and covered by vegetation, while large sheets of ice at Earth's polar deserts retain more water than Earth's groundwater, lakes, rivers and atmospheric water combined. Earth's crust consists of slowly moving tectonic plates, which interact to produce mountain ranges, volcanoes, and earthquakes. Earth has a liquid outer core that generates a magnetosphere capable of deflecting most of the destructive solar winds and cosmic radiation. Mars has a radius about half of that of Earth. Most of the planet is red due to iron oxide in Martian soil, and the polar regions are covered in white ice caps made of water and carbon dioxide. Mars has an atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide, with surface pressure 0.6% of that of Earth, which is sufficient to support some weather phenomena. Its surface is peppered with volcanoes and rift valleys, and has a rich collection of minerals. Mars has a highly differentiated internal structure, and lost its magnetosphere 4 billion years ago. Before about 3.8 billion years ago, Mars may have had a denser atmosphere and higher surface temperatures, potentially allowing greater amounts of liquid water on the surface, possibly including a large ocean that may have covered 1/3 of the planet. Water has also apparently flowed across the surface for short periods at various intervals more recently in Mars history. Jupiter is the biggest and most massive planet in the solar system. On the surface, there are orange, brown and white cloud bands moving via the principles of atmospheric circulation, with giant storms swirling on the surface such as the Great Red Spot and various white ovals. Jupiter possesses a very strong magnetosphere, enough to redirect ionizing radiation and cause auroras on its poles. Jupiter has 95 confirmed satellites. The Galilean moons, consisting of Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa. They are the largest moons of Jupiter and exhibit planetary properties. Ganymede is the largest and most massive moon in the solar system. Europa has the smoothest surface of any known solid object in the solar system. The apparent youth and smoothness of the surface is due to a water ocean beneath the surface, which could conceivably harbor extraterrestrial life. Saturn has a distinctive visible ring system orbiting around its equator, which is composed of small ice and rock particles. Like Jupiter, it is mostly made of hydrogen and helium. Saturn is the only planet of the solar system that is less dense than water, about 30% less. At its north and south poles, Saturn has peculiar hexagon-shaped storms larger than the diameter of Earth. Saturn has a magnetosphere capable of producing weak auroras. Saturn has 146 confirmed satellites. Ring moonlets and shepherds, which orbit inside or close to Saturn's rings. A moonlet can only partially clear out dust in their orbit, while the ringed shepherds are able to completely clear out dust, forming visible gaps in the rings. Titan is the only satellite in the solar system to have a substantial atmosphere. Lakes of liquid ethane and methane exist on the surface of Titan. Uranus, uniquely among the planets, orbits the Sun on its side as its axial tilt is greater than 90 degrees. This gives the planet extreme seasonal variation as each pole points toward and then away from the Sun. Uranus's outer layer has a muted cyan color, but underneath these clouds contain many mysteries about its climate phenomena, such as its unusually low internal heat and erratic cloud formation. Uranus has 28 confirmed satellites. It is a gaseous cyan-colored ice giant. Most of the planet is made of water, ammonia, and methane in a supercritical phase of matter, which astronomy calls ice, or volatiles. The planet's atmosphere has a complex layered cloud structure and has the lowest minimum temperature of all the solar system's planets. As of 2024, it had been visited up close only once when in 1986 the Voyager 2 probe flew by the planet. Neptune is the furthest planet known in the solar system. Its outer atmosphere has a slightly muted cyan color, with occasional storms on the surface that look like dark spots. Like Uranus, many atmospheric phenomena of Neptune are still unexplained, such as the thermosphere's abnormally high temperature or the strong tilt of its magnetosphere. Neptune has 16 confirmed satellites. One of them, Triton, is Neptune's largest moon. It is geologically active, with erupting geysers of nitrogen gas, and possesses a thin, cloudy nitrogen atmosphere. Triton orbits Neptune in a retrograde orbit, revolving in the opposite direction to the parent planet's rotation, the only large moon in the solar system to do so. Neptune was visited by Voyager 2, which flew by the planet on the 25th of August 1989. Voyager 2 remains the only spacecraft to have visited it. Pluto is a dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt, a ring of bodies beyond the orbit of Neptune. Pluto was discovered in 1930 by Clyde W. Tombaugh, making it by far the first known object in the Kuiper Belt. It was immediately hailed as the ninth planet, but it never fit well with the other 8. And its planetary status was questioned when it was found to be much smaller than expected. These doubts increased following the discovery of additional objects in the Kuiper Belt starting in the 1990s, and particularly the more massive scattered disk object Eris in 2005. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union (IAU) formally redefined the term planet to exclude dwarf planets such as Pluto. Many planetary astronomers, however, continue to consider Pluto and other dwarf planets to be planets. The New Horizons spacecraft, which flew by Pluto in July 2015, is the first and so far only attempt to explore Pluto directly.